is what you're made of. You are perfect and pure, even if you're not sure. It's what you're made of. L-O-V-E, love.
There is a light. Yeah. Yeah. Look around the room for a minute. Look at the beautiful folks in this room. Look at the light. You can do it. Look around. Don't be afraid. They're reflecting the light back to you that's within you. The only way we can see our own light is in the eyes of those in which we behold the light. Amen. When we look at one another and we see the light in someone else, we're seeing our own light reflected back to us because we share in one light. When I look around this room, what do I see? I see people just like me, just like you. People seeking some meaning out of this life. People perhaps seeking some spiritual connection, some healing, a real experience of the divine. When I look around this room, I don't see Democrats and Republicans and black people and white people and young people and old people and rich people and poor people. What I see is the face of God. Amen. What I see is a child of God. I see children of the divine. What I see are children of God. Each of us seeking the light in our own way and in our own time. Each one of us here doing the very best we can to make sense out of this existence and to bring something good into the world. We all are trying to do that in our own way. We're doing the very best we can at the level of consciousness that we have in this moment. My job is to help you to raise your consciousness so you can bring more of that good and love into the world. Each one of us here has the same amount of light, the same amount of divine potential to unfold more good and love in the world. Our essence is good. Our essence is of God, every single one of us. But it's up to us to unfold that good. See, it's placed in us in potential so that we can have the fun of discovering it and activating it and sharing it. Amen. That's the fun part. Discovery is amazing when you discover that the light is in you, that all the power of the universe dwells in you. Boy, that's an amazing moment. And then when you learn to activate it through principles that are spiritual, it becomes even more fun. And then when you realize that you can actually share this unimpeded, uninhibited, undistorted with the world and with others. Nothing can stop it. Nothing can get in the way of your light. Because the light shines away the darkness. Right? It's up to us to bring more light to the world, to bring more love to the world. Our essence is good and is of God. It's up to us to unfold it. And of course, unawareness of this light, the light within, is the definition of darkness. Darkness can be just defined as unawareness. Unconsciousness. You're not conscious, you're unaware. But you're doing the best you can at the level of consciousness that you have in this moment. Don't worry about anyone else. Raise your consciousness. Because it's all connected, it will automatically raise the consciousness of the universe. Unawareness. I call it darkness. The Bible called it darkness. The Course in Miracles calls it darkness. It's a good way to describe lack of light, absence of light. In darkness, there are always enemies to be conquered. But in the light, there are neighbors to be loved. Amen. Remember that. Amen. In darkness, there are sins to be punished. But in the light, there are only mistakes to be corrected. In darkness, there's fear of the future. But in the light, there's an exciting journey to be discovered. This is so exciting. What's going to happen now? Remember the story last week of when I got lost in the Smoky Mountains? I didn't know where I was. I didn't know where I was going. It was all by myself. But I knew somehow it would have an exciting moment of reunion with my friends. I didn't know how that would come about. I had no idea that so many people were actually concerned and looking for me. That was the bonus. That I realized that they didn't care who I was. They didn't care what state I lived in. They didn't care what my politics or my religion or my race was. They just knew someone was lost in the mountains and we're going to find him. Amen. And they did. And I knew it. I had faith all the way along. Even when it started to get dark and I started to hear the sounds of the wildlife and the animals that come out at night. And I never heard much of that before. I still had faith. I knew I'd be fine. I knew they would find me. And they did. And when they found me on the other side of the mountain. I wasn't even close to where I started out or where I thought I was. So this is a wonderful moment in human history because we're going to end up on the other side of all this. And we don't know where that is. We have no clue how amazing that can be. But if we approach it from a perspective of light, of higher consciousness, we know it's going to be good. We know it's going to be amazing. We know it's going to be wonderful. Because that's what we're bringing. We're not bringing fear and foreboding. We're bringing the amazing excitement of the adventure. You know, Lily and I, we've been together 15 years now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And our wedding anniversary, the 13th, was this past summer, this past August. And from the very beginning, we knew that we knew one another. From the very first day, it felt so familiar. We knew each other. And everything that ever occurred along the way, starting from the beginning, we'd say, what an adventure. The adventure continues. So whether it seems great or it seems devastating, it's an adventure. And we would look at each other and say, the adventure continues. The car breaks down in the rain, the adventure continues. I get a nice new car, the adventure continues. Something happens to us or we create something in our lives of a learning experience that doesn't seem so good, maybe when we were financially really struggling. We'd say the adventure continues. I know if we practice prosperity principles, something will happen. I didn't know it would end up right here. I didn't know it would end up where we are now. It's the other side of where we thought we were. And we're practicing in the light. We're practicing only being the light, bringing the light, which means bringing our divine nature. It's not some airy-fairy idea. I'm not woke, you guys. I'm awake. Okay? Just get that straight. The light is your divine nature. It's a real energy. It's a frequency of God. Amazing. That's what it's about. It's bringing your divine nature. Bringing the light is bringing forth who you are. So, those brave ones who are choosing the light of truth are now being tested to shine their light even brighter. This is the time we can stand up in the face of darkness, commit ourselves once again to be the light of the world. Now, it's just apparent darkness. Oh, they're playing the drums downstairs. All right. They got their own thing going on. That's all right. He's being the light. That's Zachary, by the way, being the light. I love it. As Wes said, we're just halfway in this shift of consciousness as humankind. We're just halfway. And And so it seems really like a struggle sometimes to bring the light to the world that's unaware of it. And so it's because we've been trying to do it backwards. We've been trying to bring the light without being the light. Uh-oh. Now I got to go all the way back in. I got to go back to the start. And this seems to be the way of the mystic, the way of the enlightenment, is that when I think I'm enlightened, I'm not. Oh, you don't like that. When I think I've made progress, I've gone backwards. It's just the opposite, guys. It's when I completely accept the dissolving of my ego, do I experience my true self. And that is an experience that I cannot prove or even share with anyone. But when I do it, it opens a space energetically for you to do it as well. So I can focus on what's going on in the world, and I'm going to be in the world. Or I can focus on my personal awakening, and the world will awaken. Oh, I love that. That's an amazing bonus because I don't have to, and not only can I not do it, I don't have to convince you of anything. You will be convinced by your own experience. You will seek the light because that's why we were put here. And the light that shines in the darkness within, the light that's shining within you in the darkness that is the world, cannot be put out. Amen. Even though we've made considerable progress in recognizing our common humanity over the years, the thought system of fear and separation still pervades the human experience. That's okay. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. You can witness the thought system. And this is okay, to really acknowledge the thought system of fear and separation. But not that it's going on out there. Where am I in the thought system of fear and separation? Where am I perpetuating the ideas of fear and separation? And where can I change my mind? I love it. I can change my mind about myself and it changes the world automatically. We've been trying to do it out there when, in fact, you have to do it in here. So the light that shines in the darkness is the thought system of oneness. It's the thought system of connection. It's the thought system of God in you and in me. And the light is in us all. The light shines in the darkness. And the darkness can never extinguish the light. Because darkness is simply unawareness of the light that's already there. It can't be extinguished. It doesn't need to win. It just is. There's no winning or losing in the light. In God's kingdom, there's no winning or losing. You've already won. You're already victorious. The game is over. The race is over. You're already a beautiful child of God. You don't have to do anything to prove that. Amen. You're already perfect and whole and complete. And you are the light of the world. And it doesn't matter what seems to be reflected back to you in terms of unawareness or darkness, it cannot put out your light. And when you discover that, you are going to get happier and happier. And you're going to shine more and more and more. And you're going to be more free. You're not going to allow external circumstances or situations to rule your emotions any longer. Amen. Amen. I heard an amen back there. Woo! It's important to acknowledge the feelings. There are overwhelming feelings of fear and despair among a lot of people in the world for a lot of reasons. Millions of people are feeling despair right now. But something incredibly miraculous is happening at the same exact time. It's beginning to stir the hearts of millions and millions of people as well. That this is an inner resolve. There is an inner resolve to evolve. No matter what you think is going on in the world, or where you place or have placed your hope, it always comes back to you. And so there's an inner resolve that has occurred in me to evolve. And since it rhymes, you can put it on your refrigerator. It could be a bumper sticker. Resolve to evolve. What's that? Spiritually, what it is spiritually unfolding your divine, I'll tell you what it is. Spiritually unfolding your divine potential in this world to bring more love to the world in the face of darkness or separation or fear. The old saying is, as you evolve, you'll make a lot of people uncomfortable. Evolve anyway. Oh, she's going to fall off the cliff. I don't know what she's doing there. That makes me feel uncomfortable. I remember we went walking. So we're walking in the Spirit with John, and he sees these piles of jagged rocks as we're walking along, and he starts jumping on them with these very thin-soled shoes that form to your feet, and they have toes and everything. And I'm like, my body is hurting while he's doing it. Oh, don't do that. Whoa. He's like, I love this. This is a massage for my feet. These aren't smooth rocks you would find down at Sandy Neck Beach. These are jagged rocks that have been put on the side of the path. And he loved it. That made me uncomfortable. But he's evolving anyway. Doesn't care who he's making uncomfortable. And I love that. That's why I hang out with him. He has no concern of how uncomfortable you may be in his presence. He is happily evolving. And so am I. And so am I. A lot of people are uncomfortable with what I teach or what Unity teaches or this kind of spiritual path. But you know what? A lot of people are very comfortable evolving. Very excited evolving. More than comfortable, you're excited about it. Like, no, it's not always comfortable. It's like training for a sporting event. That's not comfortable. You're doing things that, you never thought you could do. I remember running my first marathon when I was in San Francisco with my brother. And after 13 miles, somebody said, "Great, you're halfway there." Like, what? That's where we are. Wes, thank you. We're working in clairvoyance these days. We don't have to call each other and say, "What is your meditation?" That was so beautiful. And we are shifting our consciousness. And we're halfway there. Oh. Are you kidding me? I've been doing this for 40 years. Halfway. Oh my goodness. And then you get the water in the face. Keep going. Yay. 20 miles. You're almost there. More water in the face. Ice water. Okay, keep going. Keep going. And then, so this is a true story. You hit the wall your first couple of marathons, even if you've been running for a long time. About mile 20, you start to hit this wall. And something else has to kick in that moment. Because you can't do it just from your own willpower. You have to do it from something deeper within you. So at mile 20, somebody hits me in the face with a bucket of water and says, "You can do it." And that's what I needed to hear. So I rounded the corner, and in the last 6 miles are like along a beach and back into the park. It's the most beautiful run you've ever been on. And I'm taking in the sights of the ocean, and this woman comes flying by me with her eyes closed. The biggest smile on her face. And people just got out of her way because her eyes were closed. They didn't want her running into them. But she somehow would squint, she could see, and was totally in a meditation. And just, you could feel the energy of that. And I let that energy carry me, and I caught up to her, and I tried it myself. Closed my eyes. And it was so much fun. Before I knew it, the race was over. I was like, let's do it again. 26 miles, that was easy. I forgot how I felt at mile 13. I forgot how I felt when I hit the wall. Because I had accomplished, I had come to this place where I knew somewhere inside me that it would end eventually. But it ended in a wonderful experience. It didn't end in pain and suffering, thankfully. In fact, my brother and I got on our bicycles and rode around town after that. Just to loosen up, just to cool down. Yeah. And I'll tell you stories about him another day. Because he was an amazing runner and still is. But this idea of evolving, it takes some work on your part. And then when you get to the limit of what you think you can do, there's a voice inside you that says, you can do it. You can do this. You can handle this. You're not just going to make it. You're going to have fun doing it. You're going to make it. You're going to get to the other side of all this in an amazing way. You don't know what it is yet, but the adventure continues, my friends. You see, what's dangerous, and this is from my favorite guy, Martin Luther King. He said, what's dangerous is not to evolve. The whole point of being alive is to evolve into the complete person you were intended to be. Amen. And don't let anyone or any circumstance distract you from your goal. When you hit that wall, hear my voice telling you, you can do it. Keep going. There's a lot of people who are running right alongside you, enjoying the journey. Get into that energy. Follow that energy. Make your life a living prayer, like we said last week, a meditation. When it looks like the world's going backwards and the mass consciousness is dark and unaware, remember it's always about your own individual spiritual evolution. First and foremost, we must attend to our own spiritual growth, our own individual healing and awakening. Then it will be revealed to us what's ours to do. At that point, you will find all you need to empower yourself and others to shine away the darkness of this world once and for all. Remember this, when it seems really dark, it's because you were sent there to be the light. Remember the divine light that is you can never be extinguished or diminished. The divine light that is you can't be extinguished. It can't be diminished. Nothing in this world can take away your innocence, your purity. Just keep shining your light in your own perfect way. No matter how dark it seems, there is a light, a beautiful rainbow of light, of divine light shining over your head. It's always been there, and it's within you as well. Just waiting for you to look up, to focus on your divine inheritance and all of that which you seek. Your happiness, your inner power, perfect peace, and your divine light. It's all right here. Just look up, look within, and shine your light. That's what we intend to do. I love you. Amen.
You have been watching the message from our Sunday celebration service here at Unity on Cape Cod, providing a positive path for spiritual living. Please join us every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. at 147 Walton Ave, Hyannis, Mass. And visit us online at unityonCapeCod.org. This video was made possible in part through a grant from Unity Worldwide Ministries and the Templeton Foundation.